Hi, Daniel. I suppose, Daniel, in terms of this time of the season, is every point a good sort of a point? A better second half, I suppose, rather than the first half. A bit more like the usual Norwich we know.
Yes, in general, we were used to win football games in the recent weeks and the recent months, and if you're then there with a draw, the first feeling once you return to the dressing room is to be a bit disappointed. Yeah, because we were so close to win this game, and then to concede a relatively late equalizers, of course, in the first moment a bit disappointing. Um, but overall, you have to say so. You can't win them all, and sometimes the draw is also a good point, and we edged just 1 point closer to what we want to achieve in the end. It was a difficult game, yeah, for us. Also, the third game was in 6 days. I think a tight first half against a really brave Blackburn side. They have offensive quality. They went for it. Their pressing was intense, and was a bit wild game in the first half. I think a tight game. Even in the first half, we had the better chances. We had the post, we had the crossbar. In the second half, at halftime, we changed slightly our build-up in order to bypass their pressing a little bit easier, and it worked well. I think we created many chances. We had a good chance with Timo Pukki 1-against-1, the goalkeeper Kaminski with a good save, scored then a fantastic goal, Kenny McLean. And even after this, so I got the feeling, so we didn't allow them to have any chances out of the game. But yeah, then they were able, out of a set piece, yeah, to win the duel on the far post. We lost a 1-against-1 duel. And Gallagher, of course, he's difficult to defend. It was a good delivery, and he was able then to score the goal with the equalizer. I think we showed a good reaction and created more than enough chances even after the equalizer to win this game. When I think about Timo Pukki with the give and go with Todd Cantwell, where he should have scored anyhow or was blocked in the last moment. With Marcus Siebermann out of 14 yards, good shooting position. We had Emi Buendia 1-against-1 on the goalkeeper, fantastic shooting position out of 10 yards. Also, the last scene when Todd Cantwell played the square pass, and if the first touch of Timo is a bit better, then he's again 1-against-1 on the goalkeeper. So I think, especially after the equalizer again, then also more than enough chances to score the second goal. And even before, Marcus Siebermann was good shooting position. So Kaminski again with a good save. Second half, we created more than enough in order to score more than one goal. And if I'm honest, our defending was also spot on. Yeah, but sadly they were one time able to win the 1-against-1 duel out of a set piece. So, and if this happens, then also sometimes you have to accept a draw, and it's also sometimes a good point. So we're not denting on the table today, but also 1 point closer to what we want to achieve in the end. And all in all, then also a point we can live with.
And I suppose just a couple of things there. Bennett Gibson's injury, he looked to have gone down with a serious sort of knock there. And obviously, you mentioned Blackburn's pressing there as in the first half. Was that really, the pressing really caught you by surprise? Because the ball retention probably in the first half wasn't probably as good as what you'd like it to be, Daniel.
No, not as a surprise, because Blackburn is always there with intensity in their pressing. I got the feeling so we're not tidy enough in the first half and clean enough in our passing to bypass them. And it was also like we spoke before the game, but if I'm honest, also difficult for the mindset. It was a completely different game in comparison to all the other last games. Yeah, against Luton, we're dominating the game here in the home game from the first to the last second. Sheffield, Nottingham, they dropped deeper and deeper, and we had no problems to bring the ball into their half. We just had to be unbelievably tidy and clean in their half, and in the final third today, it was completely different. Yeah, we needed to be tidy and clean and to invest in the build-up in order to bypass the pressing, and then it was more or less easier as soon as the ball was in their half. And I got the feeling we didn't find this tidiness and also this to be clean and fully concentrate in the passing in the build-up to bypass the pressing better in the first half. For that, we changed a bit our processes, and it was much better in the second half. And like I mentioned, out of this, we created more than enough chances to win this game. But it was a tight game of football, and they also went for it. They have good and quality players. They were brave. They had nothing to lose today. And also the developing of the game was, of course, then a bit difficult for us. Yeah, because I had to substitute also two of my key players. Dimitrios Giannoulis in the first half with a concussion, and in the second half, or at least we think it's a concussion, because he had a bad hit against his head. And Ben Gibson, he rolled his ankle. We have to wait a bit for the assessment. Didn't look that great. I haven't spoken to him and the doctors right now. We have to wait for the assessment. But was also difficult, because then 2 substitution opportunities were already away, and you just have one in order to influence the game. And after 65 minutes, also Kieran Dowell, got a bit more tired. Understandable, because just on Wednesday he was the first time in the starting lineup since months, and for that I also had to substitute him in this period. It was then also difficult to influence the game again in the later stages. So another proof why each and every game is difficult and complicated on this level, and you always have to be switched on. I got the feeling we did enough today to win this game, but sometimes also not that you always get what you invest in such a game, and then you have to live also with 1 point.
I suppose, Daniel, lastly for me, does this really refocus the mind in the sort of dressing room that the job ain't 100% completely done, that you're 90% there, but does that really refocus the lads to say that technically, automatically, you're still not up, and you still have the games to see it out and get the job done?
No, we have also proved that today, even we were absolutely focused. We didn't need to remind or refocus how difficult each and every game is. We knew before that we need to win a few more points, and it's still a situation where we still need to win a few more points, 1 point less than today. So it's good to have 1 point. So sometimes you even concede then out of counter-attack. Again, I was quite pleased that we didn't give against a really good offensive and possession side like Blackburn out of the game much away. Sadly, we had this one situation when we lost the header in a 1-against-1 situation. Sadly, we didn't show the effectiveness in using our chance, like, for example, in the last games. But all in all, it was again a pretty focused performance. And for that, we know that we have work to do in order to bring it over the line. And for that, we will keep going exactly in this mode.
Ben Gibson, let's start there, Daniel. Obviously, it's very, very early, but the pictures don't look great. Is there a bit of a fear there might be some ligament damage, ankles?
There's a fear. So I just watched the pictures, and like you mentioned, didn't look great. I had not the chance to speak with him how he feels anyhow, and also want to be a bit careful and to wait for the assessment of our physios and our doctors. It's a bit too early to speak about this, but it didn't look that great. I think could be also a serious injury. I hope not. So because we deserve also a bit luck, especially in terms of centre backs. It was a difficult game out of this reason. First half I already had to substitute with Dimitris Giannoulis, also one of our offensive threats, left fullback with his pace was difficult. And the injury of Ben was a complicated game because of the injuries. And I hope it's not too bad, but I can't confirm at the moment anything.
And with Dimitris, again, is it a bit too early? But if that is a concussion, would you expect him to be able to join up with the Greek national squad over the international break?
Yes, could happen. It's also a bit too early to judge it right now. So at least concussion shouldn't be too bad. So I hope to have him at least available on the other end of the international break, because we didn't even right now. He was already capable to sit at least in the dressing room, and of course he felt sick and a big headache, and we have to be careful. It could be that he will be ruled out anyhow because of this, but it's not up to me to take the decisions. It's up to the doctors and the physios to make the right decisions in the sense of the health of the player. And but it's a possibility. Yes.
I was going to ask you about Dal, but you touched on it a little bit. Did you think maybe that was it, that you just tired a little bit? Because obviously he's not played a lot of football, and 2 starts in 2 or 3 days. Is that why you sort of brought Marco on towards the end there?
Yes, that's right. So I was even a bit worried before the game, if I'm honest, because he nearly played the full last game, and then the quick turnaround was just 2 days. It was a bit difficult, and I think he showed some glimpses today. He was also involved with a good assist to Kenny McLean's goal. But then you could feel also that he gets a bit more tired from minute to minute. And then after 60 or 65 minutes, I got the feeling. So I didn't want to risk anything. And also to bring another impact in with Marcus Tieperman. Also a bit like the tallness of Marco then in this period anyhow, to keep the ball, because sometimes we had to overplay the pressing and we didn't have the bad headers up front. So for that, we need also a physical player up front in this moment. But no injury concerns about Kieran. So I think it was early enough that we substitute him. So for that, I'm not too concerned with him.
Just final one from me. Obviously, no club record. There was a lot of talk about that in the build-up. But 28 points from the last 30. You go into this break now in an excellent position. I mean, how do you assess this 9 games, 10 games that you've had? It's really set you up for the rest of the season, hasn't it?
Yes, you can't win them all. Yeah, of course, I would also have preferred to finish a season with 18 wins in a row. But let's be honest, it's not what happens on championship level. Yeah, sometimes also that you have to accept also a point. Yeah, today I got the feeling we did enough, especially in the third game within 6 days to win this game of football. Yeah, we didn't allow them chances. Yeah, sadly we lost this 1-against-1 duel on the far post. Yeah, to be honest, it was also a good delivery, and Gallagher is difficult to defend in a 1-against-1 duel because of his tallness. And also we did enough in order to create enough chances to win this game. Of course, would have loved to be there with 85 points and perhaps a 10th win in a row. But yeah, sometimes you also have to accept a point. And again, it's also a point that we edge closer to what we want to achieve in the end. And definitely also a valuable point for us. And overall, you have to say what the lads have done over the last weeks and last months with 28 points out of the last 10 games you have to label it world class, and that's really, really a fact. And for that, many, many compliments to them. And once this disappointment today will be gone that we didn't win this game, I think they can be also pretty proud of what they have achieved over the last weeks. And then right now we will reduce the load also a little bit, especially in the first week of the international break. And then make sure that we keep going again, because there's still a bit work to do. We need to win a few more points. Thank God, just 1 point less right now than before the game. But there's still a few points to play for, and we need to win a few points. And then from the Preston game on, we try to win as many points as possible, also in the final 8 games.
I see that Anel Hernandez is about to make his international debut. He's joined your long list of internationals. Obviously, it's the worst possible timing with the Preston game, but are you pleased that he's been recognised for his skills?
I'm happy for them, and it's well deserved, and it's also, I think, a proud moment for him. If I'm honest, totally the wrong moment in my head, because I don't want to talk too much about how he has to travel in order to play a game for Cuba in Guatemala. It's strange, and to have this in the worst pandemic in this century feels anyhow horrendous, and I can't understand how we anyhow allow this to have these games during this strange times, and sometimes at the moment you're not allowed to see your family, not allowed to see your parents or grandparents, and we send our players in high risk areas with many flights, with unbelievable flight time anyhow. And of course I'm delighted for him and happy for him, and we allow him also to do this, but it's a more than questionable timing anyhow. And of course I would have preferred last season he would have deserved this, no doubt about this. 2 years ago he would have deserved this. Right now there's a call up for him in the worst pandemic anyhow. It's a bit questionable, but definitely also a proud moment for him, and I'm also delighted for him. And fingers crossed that he returns back. First of all, that he returns back will be difficult enough, and then hopefully safe and healthy. Hopefully this works.
I saw the South American qualifiers have been scrapped, obviously not in Guatemala. Are you satisfied you will have 11 fit players for this Preston game?
I'm not sure if we will have this, because it's a strange decision. And we are the only league in the whole world who plays on a Friday instead of to postpone this game at least to a Saturday. And if you ask me, I still think I'm struggling really to take this decision to play on the Friday serious, anyhow, because it's against all the values we want to stand for as the EFL, anyhow. So it's against the quality of the competition. We have players. We are proud that we have the second tier with the most international team players. Anyhow, we send, for example, our young players to represent England on Wednesday evening. Probably they will miss because they are in competition on Wednesday evening, then the game on Friday, because we have to travel on Thursday already to Preston. I don't think it's in the sense of the quality of the competition. I don't think it's in terms of the fair play of the competition, because we have to play probably without many players. 14 players for us are away. For some other teams, no players away, or perhaps 1 or 2. I think it's against the quality of the competition, this decision. It's against the fair play sense of the competition. It's against the integrity of the competition. It's also, we always have this lovely stickers for well-being days for players, for mental health care awareness day anyhow. I got the feeling, so if we have this decision, then we can put all these lovely stickers and buttons in the bin, and we don't need the days anymore. If this is really then a decision, because it's against all the values we want to stand for, and I sometimes can even accept this, when it's because of the difficulties to postpone a game because the tickets are already printed, or the organization with the police or whatever. But right now it's not even a TV game, and we're playing in empty stadiums. It's not even difficult to postpone it to Saturday or to whenever. But we're not willing to do this. It's still a difficult decision. So I'm struggling to respect this decision. If I'm honest, probably we have to accept this. But we need to find some solutions to deal with it. Still can't confirm that they have enough players to play. So hopefully it works out anyhow, that everyone comes back safe and healthy. We need to wait for the results of the COVID test. We need to wait how much minutes they play, because once they play on Wednesday evening 90 minutes, it's not possible to play. And then on Friday afternoon, especially not when you have to travel anyhow, and the lads are just back in the country at any point on Thursday. But on Thursday we already have to be there at Preston in order to play the game on Friday afternoon. We'll have to see what the outcome is in the end. And for me, the most important topic is not just think about our performance, but the most important topic that the players will come back also safe and healthy, and also without injuries, also without COVID. That's my biggest fear anyhow, because I'm not thinking too much about our success. I'm more thinking about their well-being, also their mental well-being, and I hope they are back in a good shape and on a good place. And that's my biggest worry at the moment.